Alright, so got my overlay, all the excess cut like what we were talking about earlier. I'm just showing you a couple things that I use. Any kind of, I use a Windex wet method is how I do this. You can use dish soap and water if you don't have Windex. Also get a microfiber towel, and I use just a straight type of squeegee that I can put in here. That's what I'm going to use to go across everything, because that way it won't scratch and get all of the air bubbles and all the Windex out from underneath the overlay. First thing you do, what I do is I'm going to wet this whole playfield with the Windex. Then I'm going to unpeel this overlay from its backing, as you can see, and I'm going to spray that with Windex as well. So I'm going to have Windex in the back of the overlay and Windex all over the playfield. And make sure that it looks good. Okay, so here we go. One thing about this is with the Windex you can move the overlay around, you can take the overlay back off, but you don't want to use, like, douse it with Windex to the point where it's going to start bringing up any of the wood grain from the playfield. It's kind of the purpose also of clear coating the playfield before putting the overlay on, so that way the water or the Windex does not pull up any of the grains of wood in the playfield. This is an odd overlay with its little cutouts and whatnot everywhere. I'm going to try to get as much of this as we can, which we're probably going to end up cutting a lot of this off anyway. So there we go. We've got our Windex on the playfield, the Windex on the back of the overlay. What I normally do is toss it on there, and from there you can move it around and get it to line up with all of your inserts. Your main purpose of this is you want to line up inserts, obviously. You want all your inserts to line up so that way it doesn't look like it's all wonky or anything. Some of these overlays, everything will not line up, so generally I get all of the inserts that will line up in the general area that you will see the most, and at tops, if the worst case scenario is you're not going to get some of these to line up. It just all depends on the quality of the overlay, who made the overlay, etc. So I'm going to lay that here. Lay that straight across here. It's looking actually pretty good. Looks like everybody is lining up. Actually, this overlay fits really well. This overlay was supplied by one of my customers that I'm doing this playfield for. It was old. It's been sitting in a tube for I don't know how many years. But it looks like, so here's the quick mock-up of it. You can see all of the inserts are looking really good, and it's lining up nicely. So, once we look good there, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to now douse the outside of this with Windex to give my microfiber and my little squeegee something to slide on. So put my towel together with this, slowly just start one of the areas, and start down here at the bottom. And you can see this overlay is old. It does not want to stick really nice. It's got spots where it's been folded up in the tube for a long time. But if you just gently work it off, get all the Windex out, all the water out, just keep on working it up. Lift up this top a little bit, that way I can get that underneath there. Lift this up. Then just kind of work around, get everything nice. I'm not pushing really hard on this. I'm just kind of guiding it around and guiding it across and trying to get everybody to sit. This overlay has a mylar coating on the outside, which on some of these overlays is meant for, they're saying you could play pinball on the actual overlay like this. I would never recommend it because I've seen these over the years, even with the mylar, and they start lifting and problems. So I don't do any overlays without physically clear coating them afterwards to seal it all down. It's the only way I've ever done it, and it's the only right way I've found it to do it. So I'm just working it again, get it all the way down. You're going to have spots that weren't cut out, like this one here. Actually, oh, it was cut out. That's kind of nice. Sometimes these are not cut out at all, and you're going to have to go through and actually cut out your holes. This overlay does have some cutouts and some spots that it does not want to stick, but it's okay. Spots that aren't sticking right now, we can come back to, and when it's starting to dry and set up, and stick those pieces down. So for now, as long as you don't have any weird spots or weird bubbles or anything like that, you're pretty much done. Yeah, I like this. This thing does. It actually has the cutouts. It's not very common. Normally the overlays I get will not have cutouts already done. You get to cut out your own. That is definitely nice. Also, it could be a problem because if the overlay has pre-cut and the overlay doesn't fit 100% perfect, then it's not going to be right. I prefer to make my own cuts. That way I know everything's going to fit. So there you have it. And give you a quick view of it. Now you can see all the inserts. You know, we sanded those with 400 with the overlay clear windows. It looks perfect. No sand scratches. You can see on the tunnel here. But you're going to let this sit. I would let this sit, even though little spots are starting to come up or trying to come up. It's okay. Once this sits and dries a little bit and gets more tacky again, then things you can come back and you can push things down and get them to sit down again. But other than that, yeah, let's let this sit a day, and then we're going to come back tomorrow and check out all the edges, see if we need to do some cutting anywhere, and we'll prep it for clear coat. But I always let these sit a day before I touch any kind of clear coating with them, to let all of the Windex, the soap, or whatever you're going to use dry underneath this. Because right now, like you just saw, I mean, you could pick up an edge and just pull it right up because it's not totally adhered yet to the playfield. So let this dry, and when it does is it actually kind of hardens itself and sucks into the playfield and gets there. You might want to also check your inserts for any kind of watermarks or anything, or any wet Windex that's in there. Kind of just squeeze that out. That'll dry as well over a little bit of time. But for now we're going to let this dry, and then like I said, we'll be back. Alright.